Good morning, everyone. I better get this going. I have the whole crew again today. All 4 children. Woo, woo, woo. And it's clear sky. It's a cool morning though. So, what are we gonna do today? Gotta get going on that clay. Oh, it'll be fun. Oh, what a mess that's gonna make. Trying to figure out how to set this all up. It's gonna be a bloody mess, no doubt, with a sprinkler session afterwards. And we're home alone. Oh, home alone. Everybody went to work today. All right. So we'll see what happens, but I better get going here. Yes. And I got to hold that baby yesterday. Here comes one. Wonderful. What a wonderful time it was. Oh my gosh.
Wait, look over here.
All right. We are in Judges 10. Oh, already getting into the mud.
Just got muddy.
Yep, we're going to make clay today. Okay, Judges 10. Jephthah and the minor judges. Tola. After Abimelech, Tola, son of Puah, son of Dodo. Everybody knows what Dodo is, right? All them funny animal videos and a dodo. What's a dodo? Okay. Interesting. All these names, all these things around the world named coming out of the Bible.
Ben doesn't always play games with me.
Oh.
And he always doesn't play with me.
He doesn't.
And he doesn't always let me play.
Uh-huh.
And he never lets me in his
He never,
He never lets me
well, what would I say?
in his room.
Oh, well, all right. I'm not sure where all this came from because you guys just been playing down here for a solid 30 minutes together. So the never isn't quite right to start with, and not sure what to tell you right now. It seems like you've got your own little history going there about what just happened. Why don't you go see how Danny is doing in there, huh? That's why it's important to be around the children so you can actually see what did really happen, right? Yes, okay. They're still learning. Son of Dodo rose to deliver Israel. He belonged to Issachar and lived at Shamir in the mountain country of Ephraim. He was judge in Israel for 23 years. He then died and was buried at Shamir. And that is all we know. Maybe there's more. Next is Jair. After him rose Jair of Gilead, who judged Israel for 22 years. He had 30 sons, who rode on 30 young donkeys, and who owned 30 towns, still known today as the encampments of Jair, in the territory of Gilead. Jair then died and was buried at Haman. So were they kings as well? I have no idea. Next is Jephthah, oppression by the Ammonites. The Israelites began doing what is evil in Yahweh's eyes. They served Baal and Astarte, and the gods of Aram and Sidon, the gods of Moab, and those of the Ammonites and Philistines. They deserted Yahweh and served him no more. Yahweh's anger then grew hot against Israel, and he gave them over into the power of the Philistines and the power of the Ammonites, who from that year onwards crushed and oppressed the Israelites for 18 years. All those Israelites living on the other side of the Jordan in Amorite territory in Gilead. Furthermore, the Ammonites would cross the Jordan and also make war on Judah, Benjamin, and the house of Ephraim, so that Israel was in distress. The Israelites then cried to Yahweh and said, "We have sinned against you, because we have turned from Yahweh our God to serve Baals." And Yahweh said to the Israelites, "When Egyptians and Amorites, Ammonites, and Philistines, when the Sidonians, Amalek, and Midian oppressed you, and you cried to me, did I not rescue you from their power? But it is you who have forsaken me and served other gods, and so I shall rescue you no more. Go and cry to the gods whom you have chosen. Let them rescue you in your time of trouble." The Israelites replied to Yahweh, "We have sinned. Treat us as you see fit, but please rescue us today." They got rid of their foreign gods and served Yahweh, who could bear Israel's suffering no longer. The Ammonites gathered and pitched camp in Gilead. The Israelites rallied and pitched camp at Mitzpah. The people, the chieftains of Gilead, then said to one another, "Who will volunteer to attack the Amorites? He shall be chief of all who live in Gilead." That's it of 10. Okay. I don't know. So the talk of the times right now is a certain movie called Sound of Freedom, something like that. And I saw an interesting thing someone talked about on how some people don't like that it is considered a faith-based movie, right? Because of the genre, the sort of what the movie is about, and so, and the guy says, yeah, there is no, Jesus isn't in it, or this or that, and so, one could consider it not a faith-based movie, yet it's a faith-based company that made the movie. I thought about them going against it. What is it with people out there? Everything is faith-based. Absolutely everything. Here we go again. That just depends on how people want to look at it. There isn't a thing out there that you can do that's not faith-based. Call faith an opinion. Call faith a state of mind. Call faith a just slumbering something within you. But it's there. It's always there. It has to be. I've explained so many times the difference between the principles of creation and the principles of love. And when it comes down to it, the only ones that have that freedom of the principles of love is mankind. Done. It's all faith-based. Everything you do out there, everything that people create, everything that, it doesn't matter if it's on the good side or the bad side, it's all faith-based. Everything is. I don't understand people are so quick. Instead of looking at this movie and say, we have a big problem out there. This is just going to be a trend. This movie's going to be a trend for a little while, like the Beanie Babies, and then everybody will forget about it again. It's a real problem out there, especially when it comes to children. Not just children, but gosh, this is the most atrocious, horrific thing going on out there. Also, of course, how many people will be really touched by this movie but go home and go, well, how much of it is hyped up? Well, let me tell you something. I saw many years ago a video where a journalist went somewhere in Brazil or South America and had an interview with someone that traffics children. How do they get these children? Oh, interestingly enough, a lot of them are given up by their parents, especially girls. But it's not just that, but that's part of it. Then, in the way that the interview was given, you couldn't see the face of the guy again, because he has to worry about, he was just one of the guys that led a group of other guys who took care of these girls. If they couldn't get rid of the girls, sell them or this or that, they killed them. Yeah? What you gonna do with goods that don't sell? With things that don't? Okay, just saying. And in a way, though, so the guy who gave the interview, or was willing to talk about this, being himself a child trafficker, okay, and he says it's a very lucrative business when it comes to, there's a lot of people who want children for this or that or that or this, especially girls, but not just girls. While I'm watching this interview, I could tell that this guy took a big risk to do this, number one. Well, why did he do it? Well, he says, my family has to live too. I have children. The guy had children. How dire are things in South America? How dire are they? That a guy who has family himself, his children himself, is doing that to other children. Then gets, one way or another, gets into something that he realized he can't get out of without his whole family being at risk, now himself. If he tried to get out of that, if he tried to expose what's going on, right? So what do you do? So I gave this interview to this journalist. And though, in some ways, he sounded very callous, this snap, you could also hear out of the interview the cry for help for these children from this guy. Yeah, it didn't get much attention from what I saw. And of course, watching a video like that, what do most of us do? Hate the guy. Hate what they're doing, this and that, but we're not seeing past that. And then, how can something so evil, established by mankind, be eradicated? How can it? Will a movie like that do it? There are organizations going all around the world that are trying to save these children. But it's not enough. It just isn't enough. The reason why it isn't enough, and I'll bring that up one more time, and I will again in the future. Please don't cuss and curse. Right there, you're making yourself a part of all of that. That foul energy. On what these words entail, this, that, I don't know what, is creating an open minefield for pedophiles and people who make a living with that kind of stuff. If men did not want it, it wouldn't exist. It's true, isn't it? Well, I have to go and take care of some children. So, again, what can I do? I keep reading the Bible. I keep making these videos. What I've noticed, I've over 500 videos now, all faith-based, that I've made, and I see things happening out there, even with just this movie, otherwise as well, on how many people in this country truly live faith-based. Is everything always going right? This, that, I don't know what. Talked about that surface stuff, right? It's got to go a little deeper than that. Yes. On how people take a stance against certain things and say, well, it's my money. I can spend it where I want to. And I'm not going to spend it somewhere where I'm seeing doors opening more and more to abuse children, even more so. In the Old Testament, children weren't abused. I guarantee you they were as well. It was already going rampant there. Yes, seems like among everyone. I haven't heard of one tribe outside the Israelites that went and killed women and children of Israel. There's not one. You can, men, yep, soldiers of Israel are dying, but it doesn't say anything about women and children. But what are the Israelites doing? How are they really turning away from God? It's always these other gods are mentioned again, as if God, okay, well, invent another unicorn out there, Okay, so what? I am still who I am. I think what God is much more disturbed over in the Old Testament and today is what? The treatment that human beings are giving each other in the negative. So, but lots of good things floating around out there. Lots of things. And that is something to see as well. So I hope that this movie isn't just going to be the splash of the moment right now. Yes. And then just what? It all sickers back into the sand and life's going to go on as it has. Yes? Again, there too. In a way, the people who work out there with trying to save these children, rescue these children, surely hope that the help, what if all these billions and hundreds of billions of dollars that are going into all these wars somewhere right now from our country in the world would be going towards these groups who are saving these children? Wow. I bet they could do a lot with that. And why are the leaderships around the world not doing that? Why? But I'm sure they hope that they'll be heard. Yes, it's difficult to believe that with everything out there that we know about what's going on with child trafficking in particular, but not just that, human trafficking on all over, and it's hard to believe that anyone doesn't know about it. Hard to believe that. So, there it is. Yes? So even again, if you don't believe in God, you think it's something different, it doesn't matter because it's still within you. And if you look on how everything is in being, then you know that's true. And that everything out there is faith-based. Everything. When I plant my seeds, I got to have great faith that they come up and do well. Have faith that they will produce food. Yes. When a woman is pregnant and and in a good place with the family, with her husband, this and that. Everybody hopes and has faith everything will go well. Yes, at birth. If you've raised ever any animals and they were pregnant, got to have faith. Yes, you have to have faith. Hope. Anytime the word hope is used, it's hard not to attach faith to it. Hope and faith belong together. Everything, absolutely everything out there is not necessarily loved, but everything that happens is faith-based. Even the atrocious things that are done out there. So, there it is. Yep. Some people out there think that The Sound of Freedom shouldn't be considered a faith-based movie. Really? What then? Who are you to say that? How could that not be an absolutely 100% faith-based movie? The hope that men finally will say no. Enough men will say no to all kinds of things that lead to child sex trafficking. Please, just say no. What that is in your life, you know. You know quite well what that is. Okay, that's all I have to say this morning. God's love and blessings always. He protect you. I will talk to you all another